commentator muted. Am I unmuted now? What the hell? I don't like this mute button at the back. Please tell me I'm back. There we go, okay. Okay, well, I'm sorry for that. There is a mute button at the back of this headset, so it's a bit unfortunate. Yeah, we'll head on board with Felix, I guess. He is the first driver on the track. Yes, here we are. Here we are indeed. Welcome everybody to this stream. You join us for qualifying in the NLR Esports event with Alex the G. Finally got the commentator name up. And now we're gonna go on board with our first driver on the time lap. It's Felix, hopefully encountering not too much traffic for his sake. Turn 1, 4th gear, solid stuff this. Of course this doesn't need to be super fast, it is a banker lap only. Now down into turn 5. Bit wide at this, but it seems alright now with DRS. See what kind of speed he's going to get up to on the straight. Obviously the main overtaking area along with turn 1, which there aren't many of. Now we head into the twisty middle sector. One hairpin followed by another hairpin. As we then head off into what used to be the Singapore Sling. It got taken off in 2013. Now it's a bit of a boring left-hander, you have to say. Now underneath the Anderson Bridge. Felix avoids the curb. Some people also do take it. And now the hairpin, a bit wide here on the apex. Seems fine though. Now the third DRS zone on the track. And he is heading down. Sector time 103.1. We'll see how that develops over time. And now obviously we head into the slow third sector. There is a yellow flag, Mercedes just letting someone go, so that's alright. And now a little bit of a slide there in the middle, seems alright though. And now just a few more corners to go for Felix, setting the first timed lap of the session. Now we'll see, clips the curb, clips that curb as well, and goes across the line with 35.5. First timed lap it is. So you've got coming up afterwards, I think it's the McLaren of Killer Blue with the next time lap. Let's see what kind of lap time he's going to set. It's 1:35.8, goes about 3/10 slower. Next up we've got a Haas. Yeah, both on the out lap. So we're going to look towards the back here. The two Alfa Romeos, CPI Wagoner. Here across the line next for the CPI team. Goes third fastest. 6/10 slower, and then we've got the Mercedes coming just as goes fastest with a 35.1. Next up on the road is a Haas EVG Dylan, so Evora Racing, an outlap. I think next would be an Alpine. No, Siever's backed off, invalidated his lap. Then we've got the other McLaren coming, XL Dylan. Just gonna look from the offboard here. He's sweeping last two corners. Goes third fastest with the 35.5. Next up will be a Ferrari. It is Jackson, also on a fast lap. Valid lap. P6, currently slowest, 36.3. Car mentalist, can we catch the end to his lap? No, he's just started apparently. Then we've got Ecos Shifters, I believe that's the ARC team though, just on a different account. It is 5th fastest, 36.0. Now we have to see who's next, I believe. It could be an Alpine, no he's invalid, no it's the Williams, invalidated. Then though it is a Red Bull, only Thomas on an outlap. But we do have a Haas coming now, it's EVG Lars. We come across the line now, not a very fast lap though, a 37.8 is quite a way off. McLaren seemingly completing another lap, but doesn't improve on his time. Got Kart Racer coming on an outlap, so he's starting his lap for NLR. And now it's probably going to be pretty hard to keep on the action. Currently on board with Car Mentalist for Relentless. Yeah, Justice is going to go into the pit lane. However, chances are that Dylan's going to come next. Oh, he's invalidated. And missed the pit lane or something. I'm not so sure. So let's instead just go on board with Kart Racer. Very good form recently. Let's see, we're gonna have a Ferrari coming across the line or into the pit lane soon. So let's see it. No, it's coming into the pit lane. Quickly catch the end to comment on its lap. It is 6th fastest with a 36.1, about a second shy of the fastest lap. Now we're back to kart race. We've got a Ferrari coming again into the last corner, but I believe he is heading into the pits. Now the sector time kart racer. It is a purple middle sector. Not sure how to trust it, but we'll see about it. Next, I believe, is Williams. Let's quickly go to the end of the lap for Petrol. 3rd fastest with a 35.5 for the DTR team. Killer Blue is seemingly on another fast lap now. Finishing that one right now. Almost invalidating. Where goes 3rd fastest? Another 35.5. And now we have Kart Racer ending his first lap of the session. About the middle of the session. So he's invalidated. 38.1, so he's going for another one. I believe we got the ART. It's the IRT driver, Seep. I am neverlastracing. Yes, you are, Harley. Next about to finish a lap is Dylan, but he seems to have made a mistake. The Evora driver is under pressure by now. Got to complete a lap soon. Back on board with Kart Racer by the looks. Don't really have anyone going fast at this moment. Let's see, I believe it's Seep then on a fast lap. Or is it? No, it's Kart Racer actually. So again, we are back with Kart Racer. See what he can do. It's the second lap on this set, but he couldn't avoid that. He invalidated his first one, so he's going for another. Pretty low battery as well, I must say, but yeah, he couldn't really do much about this one. 103.1, he's got a slightly quicker actually than the last lap. Seems to be a bit of a cleaner lap. Let's go on board through the last sector, clips that curb. Gets the car hooked into this one very nicely. Now to the inside, back to the outside and to the right again to hit this. He's hit the wall though slightly. Hopefully didn't damage his car, but yeah, that's definitely gonna cost him some time now through the last corner. Goes around with a 135.4, goes second fastest. Very strong effort from Kart Racer. Now we've got Seep coming across the line. Let us see, we've got an Alpha Tauri also coming, but I believe he's on an out lap. The ADRT starting his hot lap now, 7th fastest for IRT Seep. But Williams coming next, starting his hot lap as well. So I believe next up is ERT Khalifa with a 103.4 in the middle sector. He's about, I would say, maybe half a second away from Justice. I haven't seen a sector time. Oh, that's a bit wide though in the middle part. Let's go on board here for the last few corners. Takes us in 4th gear actually. Some would shift down and short shift back up to 4th again. Now we see Khalifa ends his lap, is 7th fastest, 35.9. We'll go for the gaps shortly. I believe next is Jersey Ananas for ADRT. Yeah, if I don't remember all the names directly, I'm doing this esports event commentary for the first time, but I believe I'm alright. Now let's see, sector times. 102.9, very fast. Looking to be on course. We can enable the gap to the leader now, so we can clearly get an image of that. Of course, Singapore long track, bit of a slide there on the exit, but it looks like he got away with it. Definitely missed that apex slightly. Of course, you have to look at tire temps here, especially if you're not using ABS. And now into the last corner he goes. Very nice line through here. Could it be your fastest lap? Yes, it is. By 1/1000th of a second. New Jersey Ananas goes fastest for the ADRT. And Wesley goes 5th right afterwards for the DTR team. So right now we've got in the drop zone the two Evora gaming drivers of Lars and Dylan, as well as IRT's Marty and CPI's Nathan. Now we're gonna have to keep an eye out on the other drivers. I believe Shifters is Now he's not going for another lap, he's invalidated. So let's see, I believe Justice is on another lap to try and take the fastest lap back. Is my Twitch stats turned off? YouTube, sorry. I'm too used to streaming on Twitch. Hit the wall ever so slightly, I believe. Should be alright though, as he comes across the last corner to go fastest. 12 1,000ths of a second. Very close stuff. Now Justice is heading into... No, Khalifa's heading into the pits, sorry. And now, see who the next one on the lap is. I can't really figure. I guess Wesley would be heading into the pit lane. It's a good lap after all. Yeah, Nathan's on an out lap. Marty is now starting his hot lap, so we'll keep an eye on him. First and foremost, as he is the furthest ahead of those on an out lap. Sorry, my chat is currently not loaded, which is unfortunate. Wait, that's a bit of a slide on the exit. Also looks to have gotten away with that one as well, though. 26.7 in the first sector. Of course, he does not have a reference yet, as he's not in there with a time lap. 3 drivers who haven't set a time lap yet. There is a yellow flag, just a Haas. Maybe letting some drivers go. Now into the Singapore sling, let's see. How does he take that? Under the Anderson Bridge, he does take the curb there. Also see no ABS. Connection to the server time, now that's unfortunate. YouTube chat trying to work that one out. 103.6, doesn't look like the strongest sector time for Marty. It's a valiant effort nonetheless for the IRT team. Steve is currently in 10th place. I'm sure they'll be looking for a little bit more than that. Let's see, how does he hook up that last sector? All about tire grip really, not much really the downforce. Now let us see the last 2 corners. Gets around those quite nicely and goes 14th fastest, just above the drop zone with 3 minutes to go. I guess next up then is Nathan. One of now just 2 drivers without a timed lap. And the Jimmy Broadbent helmet, if I can tell that correctly. Around the last 2 corners, again, 1 sweeping bend. And he goes 4th fastest, strong lap with a 135.4. Pushes Marty back down to 15th. Then we'll see who's next on the lap. I believe Felix is now starting one, exactly. But however, on a fast lap, I'm not sure if there is anyone right now. Maybe Lars. Or he just finished one and just couldn't improve enough. So we'll keep an eye on the NLR driver. Felix seems to be out. I must have missed that one. Let's see if there's anyone close on the track. It looks like an accident then for the NLR driver. Car Mentalist is now going to head past it. Let's see what happened. Oh, he's made the same mistake by the looks. Yeah, he had to back off. Felix must have had an accident then. And is possibly out of qualifying for the Singapore Grand Prix. Now we'll have to keep an eye on Dylan. See who is next on the lap. I believe Marty will be heading to the pit lane. Cutting some corners, which is interesting. I'm not sure if that is allowed. There's a yellow flag here. No, that's cleared now. Ah, my YouTube chat is not cooperating. Jackson will be starting a hot lap. It's only a minute to go. So some drivers really need to get a time on the board. I believe next up is an Alfa Romeo, but he is heading into the pit lane. Yeah, it's Nathan into the pits. But now really have to look at this. Khalifa is starting a lap. Nathan is out, so he's not going to do another lap. And Shifters goes 3rd fastest for ARC. Very good lap. Next up we got an Alpine coming. That is Seep starting a hot lap. Now, this is going to be difficult to keep up with. I believe Wagonar is now starting a hot lap. We've got a Haas coming though. That is EVG Dylan. who goes 16th fastest with a 36.1. However, he can do another lap if he wants to. Next up we've got Excel Dylan, who's heading into the pit lane. And is Killer Blue gonna make it across the line? I'm not sure. We had a Mercedes come across the line. That is Car Mental is starting another hot lap. So next one to go across the line looks to be Jackson, who's in the third sector right now. And he's 17, so he's on the cusp. Currently looking to get out of qualifying. But he would have to improve his lap in order to go above 15th. Marty's finished with qualifying as well. So now we see the ARC driver. Nice run through there. It's taking a lot of curb. And now the last corner. Very important corner, and it looks good. 10th fastest for Jackson, and he is out of Q1. Pushes Marty down into the bottom 5. Looks Felix though has a slight timing glitch. Next up we've got Only Toma for ERT. Can he get out of qualifying? Yes, he goes 10th with a 35.7. Next we had Haas driver coming last, stays slowest. Now we've got the other Red Bull ERT Khalifa. Let's see. He is 11th. No, he's 10th actually. Then we've got IRTC, but goes 3rd fastest. 35.1. Then it is Wagoner coming through the last corner. He's improving slightly. Is it enough? He goes 9th fastest. Improves and goes out of qualifying. EVG Dylan stays 16th, so he's in the bottom 5. Now let's see if there's another one coming. It's just Car Mentalist, I believe, heading on another hot lap. Hopefully that little encounter with Felix didn't cost him too much time. Oh, and he's invalidating the last corner, and that is him out of qualifying then. So the 4 drivers knocked out. We've got EVG Dylan. So both Evora Gaming drivers are out of qualifying already. With the Relentless driver, Car Mentalist, and IRT Marty out of qualifying. Killer Blue does go fastest in the end. With a 35.1, he must have somehow made it across the line then. And I mean, look at that top 5 being within 1/10 of a second. Amazing those gaps. Really, really good competition. Now I'll have to go reconnect to the YouTube chat, because that's just not going to work, is it? So here you have the Q1 results then. We have lost both Evora drivers. We've lost 1 Relentless driver. We have actually lost Felix then as 15th. I wasn't aware of that. And we've also lost Marty for Alpine, so IRT, that is 1 driver down for them too. And 14 drivers left competing in qualifying 2. But those gaps do promise a very, very close session. So we'll see how things will go tactically speaking, because qualifying 2 of course decides the starting tyre. And I'm sure that some might try the medium tyres, others would like to rather go for the quali points in Q3. As I believe my YouTube chat is possibly back up. I hope so. For some reason now I have to turn all this back on. I guess we're used to that. Now we'll put on the tyres as detail. Fastest lap, probably gap to the leader again. And that seems to be alright. I'm still waiting for my YouTube chat to come back. And now you can see on the selection screen, you've got the Only Toma on the medium tyres. We've got DTR's Petr, maybe? Also on the mediums, we've got Seb on the mediums. Excel Dylan is on the mediums as well, along with ADRT, New Jersey, Ananas. Yeah, some people would try the mediums in the first run. Second run, we'll see about it. Now though, we'll just wait for a driver to head back onto the track. And we do have experience with the wet Singapore race, looking back into 2017, which obviously caused the starting drama. We do have a driver heading out now. Looks like an Alfa Romeo. Yes, it is. Have to get a drink there first of all. Let's see, it is Wagoner. On the soft compound though, the strategies are differing as he crosses over the white line. I guess in qualifying, with nobody around, should not be too much of a problem. As we are just waiting for the drivers to go onto the track. We have another driver on the outlap. It is the Ferrari of Jackson. He is also on the soft tyres. Then we've got the second Alfa Romeo of Nathan, who's also going out on the softs. Now we'll see. Afterwards we do have an Aston Martin, I believe, kart racer, who is on the soft tyres. So nobody has gone out yet on the mediums. Some have selected them, nobody's gone out though. Staying on board with Wagoner for the moment. Let's see anybody else tacticking on these medium tyres. It will obviously go longer into the race, but the softs will be faster, a little bit faster at the start. So you cannot underestimate the pace of these. They'll also wear faster, so of course there is a strategy element in this. Whether you want the points in qualifying, whether you want to maximize the race. A lot of things really to play for us. For some reason why is this camera in place? It's really surprising. Now though we'll have a look at Wagoner, who's starting his lap now. That was very close on track limits probably. He hasn't turned on his ERS, so maybe he's doing this as a bit of a banker. Let me turn the tyre detail back off for the moment. We'll have a look at it again later. Yeah, my YouTube chat is gone. That's unfortunate. I'll try to get it back. Now through the first sector. What kind of time are we looking at for Wagoner? It is a 27.1. So yeah, he's backing off. Maybe does want the mediums in the end. First hairpin, little bit at least. Second, slow corner heading into the Singapore sling. Short straight. If you're feeling opportunistic, you can maybe overtake through here. Very fast by the looks though, through the corners. As here we go under the Anderson Bridge, onto the Esplanade, the third DRS zone on this track. And crossing the second sector line, 104.7, so that is quite a substantial margin to what we already saw in Q1. Now he's lifting off again, so that explains it. Let's have a look then at Jackson, who's invalidated his lap time, so that's also not going to be anything. Let's see CPI Nathan then, who's also not using his ERS. Again, we're cutting to the normal teapot. Also no ERS usage for him though. Let's have a look at Kart Racer just for reference. He does use his ERS, so he will commit to starting on those soft tyres. Wagoner goes fastest with a 40.3. It's not an incredibly competitive lap time though, as Kart Racer 103.4 does go quite a bit quicker. But I believe there is quite some time in there. Let's go back to Jackson for now. He's going to start a new lap. Yes, he is. With a 139.9. He would have gone about 0.4 faster, but of course the lap was invalid. So instead we'll go to the CPI teammate of Nathan. And that does look to be quite a big improvement actually, with a 138.8, 1.5 seconds faster. Next up though is Kart Racer. He's heading into the pit lane. Okay. So he's not going to finish that lap. Instead of which, I guess we're going to look at the DTR driver, who is on the mediums actually. We can turn the tyre detail back on now to see who is headed out onto the mediums. I can see also IRT's Sieb is on the medium compound on the track. But let's watch the Williams first as he makes his way around the last sector. Very much curb, but he's got away with it. Using the maximum of the track, of course. Doing the same thing here across the line. 136.2, fastest lap at the moment. Let's see, Wagoner is not on another lap, neither is CPI's Nathan. Then we have two Red Bulls on an out lap. So next up looks to be Jackson, yes. Let's see if that is a quicker lap than Petr. Now around the final corner, how much curb does he take? He actually avoids the curb. Not sure if that was intended, but he goes second. About 9/10 slower, so he will probably have to improve. Next up, IRT Seeb starting a hot lap. We also have CPI Nathan, who's going slow, so he's going to go into the pit lane. Justice also on the track with the medium tire. He's got somebody behind him. That would be Hedge. Yeah, exactly. So I guess we're going on board then with the Red Bull of the only Toma, who was very fast in Q1 and is now on the soft tires. Under the Anderson Bridge again, DRS zone here. Overtaking opportunity with a very good exit. So that is a 103.8. It might well be faster, but that is a track limit. That is unfortunate. So that's why we're going to go look to the other Red Bull, who's also invalidated this lap. Therefore, it should be time to go to, well, good question. Jackson, is he going for another lap? Doesn't have a lot of ERS, so he might well be going for yet another lap on this set. Oh, that's very wide though. My chat still hasn't reconnected. Oh, a lot of understeer. Yeah, he's gonna go into the pit lane with that. IRT Steve, Justice? Been a bit slow there? Or did something fool me? I'm not so sure. What I do know is that both Red Bulls, no, they're not on hot laps. And neither of them are on a hot lap. See, I guess then the highest driver on a hot lap is Justice, who is heading on the Anderson Bridge now. Now let's see the sector time for this one. Of course, still the fastest lap on the mediums, 103.1. That is already more or less on the level of the softs in Q1. So we're probably looking at a solid improvement here by the Mercedes REL driver. There is a yellow flag. Wesley is out of the session. Probably hit the inside wall of the Anderson Bridge. Very common mistake to make. Let's have a look with Toma. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Unfortunate for these guys, who aren't able to complete their laps. But now it's Ariel Justice across the line. 35.3. Strong lap. Fastest of the session so far. IRT Steve has crossed the line in between. I completely missed that. Goes third fastest with a 36.3. Will the two Red Bulls complete their laps or go into the pit lane? It looks like the latter to me. Next up is Kart Racers on the medium tires. Just seen that one on the minimap. Haven't seen any sector times, so it's going to be a little bit of a surprise where he's going to put the car. Of course, his teammate out in Q1 after a crash. And now here comes Kart Racer then. On good form for NLR recently, taking good amounts of curb. And he goes across the line, second place, 35.5. Good lap. New Jersey Ananas crossing the line third with a 35.7. Excel Dylan, we're getting that. Yes, we are. Fourth fastest, 35.9. You have Ecos Shifters coming across the line. The second McLaren Killer Blue has started a hot lap there. Let's see, we've got Williams now coming across the line, who's starting a hot lap on the same set of mediums actually. So they are really looking to get out of Q2 with these medium tires. But they will also have to watch the danger of those behind that might be going on to the softs later on. However, only 4 minutes to go in this session. So that'll definitely be a bit of a tight one. So look at Justice if he's going to go for another lap. No, he's not. I believe neither is Kart Racer. Is he? No, he's not. New Jersey Ananas is next on the tracks, also going slow. So we're going to go look at Killer Blue. He's the furthest up with a hot lap. Almost makes the same mistake, but he does take it quite well. Missed the apex slightly. We'll see. Obviously not a lap time set for him yet. 103.3 looking solid though. So here he comes, third sector. The tight corners. This is where it's all about the grip. Might have missed that apex slightly. Petter has left the session. That's unfortunate for him. I hope he can get back in with an invite. Ooh, that didn't look the best on turn-in, but I guess it will be a fast lap. Killer Blue 35.8, full fastest. Looks relatively safe to me. Now we've got ECOS shifters next, so that is ARC shifters. Invalid lap time though, he's gonna have to go for another one. Next up is a McLaren, it's Excel Dylan going for another fast lap now. So I don't think anybody's really finishing a hot lap at the moment. Unless we go... No, the Alfa Romeos are on their out laps. So are the Red Bulls, all on the mediums now, which is very interesting. And so I think the first on a fast lap is Dylan. Yeah, Excel Dylan is the first on a fast lap. So we'll keep an eye on him, improving slightly through Sector 1 on his already very good lap of a 35.9. Fifth fastest so far. Petter Vol is joined back. That is very good for the DTR team. Currently sixth fastest, so there's definitely a lot of potential there, but he probably can't head out on the track anymore. Not enough time for him. That's very wide, but it's looking good though for Dylan. Again, missing the apex there. That is the Ferrari of probably... No, it's actually his teammate getting out of the way. That looked like a Ferrari for some reason. A 10th up for Dylan. So he's definitely on the pace to maybe beat New Jersey Ananas for ADRT. Let's get this beautiful off-board shot, get the night shots in here for Singapore. Taking some very, very solid lines here. There is a Ferrari now coming across the line. I believe it's Shifters, who goes fifth fastest, so right ahead of Dylan. Let's see if that'll change again. Dylan goes across the line for McLaren, goes third fastest with a 35.6. Killer Blue is now starting his lap, so I believe the next one to cross the line would be Jackson, but he's on an out lap. So is Sieb. So the next two are the Alfa Romeo drivers. Petrofol is left again. Unfortunate, very unfortunate. I hope that sorts itself out. So now let's see Nathan, who's got his teammate right behind him. Improving by 2 seconds at the moment. So he's definitely looking to get into that top 10 on the medium tyres. Again, the tight and twisty third sector, not much to overtake in the race. Probably just a case of trying to stay as close as possible to the driver ahead. New Jersey Ananas is headed onto the track on the soft tyres, so we'll see if he completes that lap. I would expect not, but you never know. Now let's see, Nathan goes 7th fastest for CPI. Then his teammate Wagoner, is he going to make it? Oh, he just about made it to start another lap. Otherwise he would be out of qualifying. Next up we do have the two Red Bulls coming. ERT Khalifa is now coming across the line and goes 10th fastest, currently in Q3, but now his teammate, the only Toma, can he put him out of qualifying again? Yes, he does. 8th fastest with a 136.1, 8/10 slower, but it is enough for the moment. Let's see now. Killer Blue, 5th fastest so far. Will he complete this lap and maybe put himself slightly higher up the grid? Killer Blue crosses the line, goes 3rd fastest ahead of his teammate, 35.6, 2/10 faster. Next we've got Shifters, who is heading into the pit lane. So that would be his teammate Jackson next to try and put himself out of Q2. Can he make it though? He's got a pretty big gap to 10th place Sieb. However, it could still be enough. Jackson goes 10th. 36.2, very solid improvement. And then next up we have Sieb, who is currently 11th. Will he put Jackson back out of the top 10? Yes, he will. 10th fastest. No, that's Volner. 8th fastest for Sieb. Now Khalifa, yeah, Khalifa's out. And Wagonar's the last driver then to try and set a competitive lap time. Don't see anybody else changing the results now, unless Nathan ahead of him improves. Maybe he will. He does go across the line. And he does. He goes 5th fastest. And then we have Wagoner, who's got a big slide out of the last corner, goes 12th, is out of qualifying. And yeah, we're just waiting for Khalifa, who's also out of qualifying for ERT then. Still trying to get the YouTube chat back. It's been the entirety of Q2 now that I haven't had the chat. But that does look to be a very interesting Q3 then. New Jersey's headed back into the pit lane, probably just to test out the soft tyres more than anything. And now we're waiting for the Red Bull. Yeah, Justice is in the pits, so no more tyre wear for him, which is good. Will definitely help his cause at the start. And the entirety of the top 10, probably the entirety of the grid, let's face it, is going to probably start on the medium tyres. And that is that, the end of qualifying 2, and we have lost DTR's Wesley, we have lost ERT's Khalifa, also CPI Wagoner is out of qualifying along with Jackson for ARC, and that means we only have, if I'm seeing this correctly, we only have one team with 2 cars in Q3, which is Excel for McLaren. Otherwise we have one Relentless driver, one NLR driver with kart race, we have one CPI driver, one ADRT driver, the sole ADRT driver on the grid, and one ARC, one IRT, one ERT, and one DTR driver in Q3. And now they're obviously all going to go on softs. As we now go into Q3, the last shootout, the last 12 minutes of qualifying, where everybody is going to go and set the fastest lap they can. We probably won't need the tyre detail because everyone's going to be on the softs. And now it's just going to be a sprint to the fastest lap of the session. And we'll see who's going to be the first. It's a McLaren, then it's a Ferrari. Then I believe we do have an NLR, Red Bull. Definitely quite a few of the drivers heading out onto the track already. It is Ecos Shifters who has made it out first. Obviously on the soft tyres, I'm not surprised by that one. I'll try to use the outlaps to actually sort my chat back out, to be honest. Probably the safest option. Don't you all love those sound glitches? Still a thing after so long. But I mean, there are worse. There are worse for sure. No, I'm not even getting the Discord chat back. This is very, very weird from my side. Past the Singapore Sling, under the Anderson Bridge, where Leclerc had his accident in 2018. And actually Ericsson in 2017. Connect to the internet, yeah, thank you very much. Here you go, then he's hit the wall there. Really hope that's no damage for him, but it was a solid hit. So visually the wing is fine. We all know that damage probably goes beyond visual. And he keeps going, so I guess his front wing is alright, and he, ARC Shifters is the first driver then on a hot lap. Stay on board with him for a little bit. Oh, it's a bit of a missed apex though. Then we have a McLaren, so Excel Dylan is second. Yeah, and Shifters is backed out already, so we're gonna go back on board with Dylan then. Looking to be the first driver to set a lap time. After that is Kart Racer, Killer Blue follows afterwards with Relentless Justice. After that one, CPI Nathan is next, and we've got DTR's Pet, and then we've got 3 people on outlaps. 26-3 though in the first sector, so the difference between mediums and softs really coming into play here. Yellow flag there. Kart Racer probably invalidated his lap. Let's just check that one. Yes, he has. So he's going more slowly. That was the yellow flag. I've got a little bit of an FPS glitch if I try to change from the onboard to the offboard here. However, that changes after the hairpin onto the esplanade. Yeah, you can see that. Here it works again. And Excel Dylan then 103.1. There is more time left in there, I think. But we'll see about that as the session progresses. Everybody will get another shot with an extra set of tires. And here a lot of curve on the inside. That one's only clipped. Very nice. Along with these two, you have to get a lot of those curves. They're not too wide on the exit to not hit the wall. And around the last two bends to go fastest with a 35.2. Now we've got his teammate coming, who is going 4 1,000s faster. Killer Blue, 35.2 is fastest at the moment. Next up we've got CPI Nathan, who's going to come across the line and go even faster. 6/100ths of a second. Petrol goes 2/10ths faster. It's pole position for the moment. Amazing lap time then. As then there's Kart Racer and Aerial Justice heading past to start other hot laps. IRTC was also invalidated, so he's going to have to start another lap or go into the pits. That means it is ADRT's New Jersey then on a hot lap. Still valid as well to try and beat that 34.9 from Pet. And the last two corners taking a little bit of curve, probably a bit more in there, but he does go fastest by 29,000ths of a second. The only Thomas next goes third, but he is 2.5 shy. But that is 6 lap times on the board, within about 3/10 of each other. Then the next car on the track would be Justice for Relentless. Validated his first lap. He's going for another one though in this set. He should have enough time if he wants to come into the pits, change onto a new set. Kart Racer invalidated again, or he's going slow. Not so sure on that. 102.5 though for Justice. Oh, that's an accident. That does look very promising though from the Relentless driver. Let's see if the CPI driver will get out of the way, or if he goes fast enough to avoid him. I hope that is not going to hinder him. Okay, he does get out of the way in the end. Pretty wide there, but it seems to be alright. Over the curb and through the last corner with a 34.5. What a lap that is. Wow. Another 3.5 faster than that. So I guess next up across the line is Seeb. But he doesn't seem to be going that quick. No, I don't think so. An error occurred on my YouTube chat. Love that. It's a pretty substantial margin then in qualifying at the moment. I mean, absolutely marvelous lap though from Justice to go 3.5 faster than anybody else. And it is currently pole position, 15 points then for Relentless. And the only team that can score double figures is Excel with both cars in Q3. I'm trying to get my chat back up in the meantime, but it just doesn't seem to be working. Alright, everybody's into the pit lane now. Put on that new set of tires. The only one that hasn't is ARC's Shifters, who obviously invalidated his first lap and has now gone early to avoid the traffic. So we'll stay on board with him for a little bit to see what kind of lap time he can do. In clear air, of course, nobody on the track, only Kart Racers now decided to go out. Oh, and he's round, hit the wall, but probably, he's probably got some damage from that. That's unfortunate. If he can make it back to the pit lane, that would be a very big effort. But I believe he might complete the lap. He will be slowest with that, unless obviously other drivers can't set new laps. That would involve Seeb and Kart Racer, who is on an out lap. So we'll stay with the NLR driver then, who is the furthest up the road. Unless, of course, let me see quickly. I believe he has turned down the ERS. No, he's not going for that lap. Maybe he can make it back, but honestly, I doubt it. So it's Kart Racer then who we're going to look at, who will be the first driver on a hot lap, on the last hot lap of Q3, which at the same time will be his banker, so this is really all or nothing for him as he prepares those tires. And to be honest, for his sake, I hope he doesn't get in traffic, because obviously everyone's going to go head out on the track now. As I can see, there's a Red Bull, there's an ERT driver on the pit exit, also a Ferrari coming. But it looks like, yeah, the Kart Racer's lucky with the Ferrari. The Red Bull will probably get out of the way on the straight, so that's no problem for Kart Racer. Using really the most of the track in turn 2 as he plunges down into turn 5 and onto the DRS zone on the Raffles Boulevard. The only Toma gets out of the way, so that's alright. No problems there. And the first sector time is looking solid with a 26.3. Looking pretty good for Kart Racer. First hairpin, slight lockup, shouldn't cost him too much time though. Going around the curb nicely and now heading down to what was the Singapore Sling. We'll head to the offboard shot. Now let's see. Takes that curb. Does he go over this one? No, he avoids it. Both options are viable. Oh, again a slight lockup, but that's alright. This is pretty normal to happen here. A bit of a slide on the exit. Not really ideal, but it's a 102.8 in the middle sector. He's definitely on course for that front row. Maybe justice is just about out of sight for him, because that really was an impressive lap from the Relentless driver. Oh, he's hit the wall though. Just clouted the wall slightly. See how much damage that would have done his wing and the lap. Definitely is picking up some understeer through here. Now the last two corners, it doesn't look too quick this, and Kart Racer goes 4th still. 35-0. Now the next driver, Petr, I don't think he's on a fast lap at the moment. So we'll now really have to look out. It's ERT's Toma who's on the lap first. So again, we'll go on board here, and then at the end, it's going to be all the lap times coming in at once. Because after Toma, it is Sieb coming across the line, then we have the Williams, so that would be Petr coming across the line for his last lap. Then the CPI's Nathan looks to be the next. But for now, we'll be focusing on the Red Bull. Currently 5th fastest, but 6/10 off pole position. Currently actually down by a 10th on that first sector time, but there is a lot of time probably to be gained in the last 2 sectors, much more technical. Very wide again on entry. That's normal though. Some people pick 4th gear. It is really a knife edge on this track what gears to use, short shifting or not. He does take a bit more curb around here than the hairpin. He does hit the apex nicely, as qualifying is now over, so every lap that was started will count, but no further lap can be started. 102.9 again, still slightly down. He has gained back about 0.08 of a second. Right now it would not be enough to improve. Now let's see, he's invalidated the lap. So that's unfortunate. That's it for qualifying then. Most he can get is P6. P5, sorry. Next up is Sieb. He is improving for the Alpine. So here he comes then around the last few corners. Only 4 corners to go. Realistically 3, but we do count the last 2 as 1 corner really. Kart Racer's out, he's retired, and now IRT Sieb is going to come across the line and go 2nd fastest, 34.8. Next up is the Williams of Petr, who can't improve on his position, only on his lap time. So he stays 4th fastest. Next up CPI Nathan. Around the last few corners, let us see what kind of lap time he can do. currently is 7th fastest. Can he put that Alfa Romeo further up? Yes, he can. 2nd fastest. Very strong lap. Next up is Shifters goes 6th fastest with the only up he's got. Then you've got Excel Dylan, 4th fastest. Killer Blue behind him. Goes fastest by 3/100ths of a second. Then we've got Justice who beats that by another 2/10. Wow, what a showing that is. Then we've got New Jersey Ananas. Couldn't quite see that. It's 3rd fastest, as I can see on the wheel. What an end to qualifying that is. Everyone thought it's going to be so close, and now it's 2.5 that Justice has snatched pole by. Still a brilliant qualifying session this. Justice on pole for Relentless. Alongside on the front row is Killer Blue for McLaren and Excel Racing. They've got New Jersey Ananas for ADRT with CPI Nathan in 4th. Sieb and Dylan on the 3rd row of the grid with Pet and Shifters on the 4th row. Kart Racer and Toma probably expected a bit more, but are on P9 and P10. Of course, all of the top 10 will be starting on the medium tyres, and I don't expect the rest of the grids to be any different, because it is Singapore after all. Now that everyone's on mediums, I guess the outside of the top 10 will follow that too. Quick drinking break again, important. Hydrate everybody in chat, which I still can't see by the way, which is frustrating. What I can do right now is quickly check the chat here, but it's only gonna be a few minutes really. Now unfortunately I can't see the chat, I'm just seeing it in this window. Yeah, now I'm gonna have to focus back on the race. And keeping in mind, of course, that it will be raining in the race, it would make sense why everybody went for the mediums. Because having to stop beforehand is not ideal, but this is going to be definitely the longest race of the season. Potential for safety cars, as well as potential for crashes, of course. Now we're waiting for the time to run down to start the race in Singapore. And head onto the formation lap. Here we are then with our 19 car grid, seeing a lot of the drivers for the first time in quite a while, of course. Now we have to get the menus back up. Position change definitely for the start of the race. Actually, we'll go for the tyres. Yeah, we've got the whole grid on the medium compound, other than Jackson and Wagoner who are on the hards. Maybe thinking those tyres don't go until the rain. Telemetry enabled, lap data enabled, and that is good in my books. I'm still trying to get chat back on the formation lap. As Khalifa and Wesley have been disqualified, will be suffering from low tire temperatures at the race start. That is obviously unfortunate for these two. Hopefully no more disqualifications from the formation lap. You've got the dominant pole sitter then on the medium tires, as is everybody else, excluding Jackson and Wagoner on the hards. And we are in the last sector. Of course, everybody with more tire warming than usual on those harder compound of tires. Just looking back here from the back of that Mercedes car. Of course some more tire warming because of that compound, but it shouldn't change as everybody's really in the same boat at the race start. Just hopefully no incidents, but I guess they will be inevitable. The walls are close, so is the racing in this championship, and therefore we might well see an incident or two as well as safety cars. Always the potential for safety cars. As Justice lines up on the grid, on pole position for this Singapore Grand Prix. Killer Blue in second. Then we've got Ananas in third, Nathan fourth, Sieb in fifth, Dylan is sixth, Patch and everybody else lining up behind. Now we're just waiting for Lars to go into his grid box and get ready for 5 red lights in Singapore. Now the countdown running down. Can we get the view now? Yes, we can. It is 5 red lights then in Singapore. It is lights out. Away we go. It does look like a good start then for the Mercedes. That is a very good getaway indeed. Definitely does displace the leaders directly. And Khalifa is out. Khalifa's out of the race already. At the back, and it's a virtual safety car. 5-second penalty for Ananas. It's a collision on the safety car. He might well protest that. So right at the start there's been an incident. The other Red Bull, the other ERT's already at the back as well. So let's quickly enable the position change. Where is it? There we go. There have been quite a few inroads actually. It's a full safety car now, by the way. So really a lot of places to be gained with that one. Oh, I've just seen Wagoner without a front wing. So he must have been caught up in that. But it is Justice who's held the lead then with a very strong start from Killer Blue for Excel. Nathan's moved up to third, lost a place. Losing a place there is New Jersey for ADRT. Excel Dylan has gained a place. Kart Racers 3 up from 9th on the grid. Then we've got Shifters in 7th, also gaining a place from Volley, who's lost a place. Felix gaining 6 places, so he's already up into the top 10, starting 15th. Jackson's moved up into the top 10 as Sieb has lost a lot of places, down from 5th to 11th. Right ahead of his teammate, who has in turn gained a lot of places to be in 12th place. And then we only have a few people with some penalties. That will be for collisions, which are just unfortunate, really under the safety car. Or just as the VSC really got deployed. But in the end I don't expect any pit stops really. Everyone's on the harder tyres, of course, other than Wagoner, who has to change his front wing. Yeah, these two at the back have obviously lost a lot of places. Now let's see if anybody is going to go into the pit lane, but I don't think so. Doesn't really make sense from the harder tyre. There are actually a few drivers in the pit lane. Just seen that. Jackson's into the pits, isn't he? Yeah, he is. From the hard tyres. We do have a few behind the top 10 queuing up to go into the pit lane. Yeah, it is a wing change for Jackson. It's also a wing change for Sieb, Car Mentalist, Wagoner of course too. Let's see who emerges in that pack. Wesley already serving that penalty, so that's obviously good for him that he had to serve it on the safety car. Now let's quickly see the tyres on these cars. I guess they will all be on the medium tyres. Where is that detail? Yeah, everybody on the grid is now on the mediums. On that middle compound. Can I please have my chat back? I have connection for once, but I am not so sure if that's going to work. And behind that Aston Martin safety car we have the relentless Mercedes in the lead of the race. 2 laps done. Let's see, of course a lot of drivers will have to catch up to the pack again. There's obviously quite a few wing changes around the middle of the pack, as you would expect in Singapore. A lot of potential here for accidents. And of course the standard safety car setting, which can cause a stir occasionally. And yeah, the safety car's not heading in on this lap yet, still waiting to pick up those last few drivers. First and foremost Wagoner, who's right at the back without a front wing at first. Has changed that one back, got a new set of mediums on, and is obviously hoping to go to the rain. So let's instead head back to the lead with a 2:23. Those lap times will get faster. But of course the safety car slowing everybody down to a safe pace. Virtual Bernd Mailänder getting some laps in the lead. I don't expect them to be the last lead laps for him, to be honest, especially with rain coming. So expect a lot of drivers then to maybe try the odd move or two, knowing that possibly there is more on the line. So now that a tire update is probably not so necessary with everybody on the same set, we can go back into... What detail do we have? Penalties? Well, we only have the 5 seconds for New Jersey and as for ADRT. We'll probably keep it on stops, although we know that everyone from Jackson down has stopped. The only one who can theoretically go to the end from here is Jackson, along with Wagoner, as they have started on the hards. Well, now on the mediums, but that's obviously not going to last. So we'll keep the detail off for now. There's nothing really to report on. And until the restart, I will try to get YouTube chat to get working again. Now let's see if the safety car is going to pull in this lap. Yes, it is, and we're going to get racing then, starting on lap 4. So another 28 laps to go in this race. And this is, of course, not everything. Again, some more tire warming going on. It's necessary on these harder tires. Still not really able to get the connection back. I do apologize for that, but doesn't seem like much I can do. I restarted the app a few times. Now, is that him on his way already? Yes, it is, by the looks. Will he catch the safety car, though? For his sake, I hope he doesn't. Also for the sake of the race. No, it's looking good. And Justice has restarted this race in the lead. And is now going to set after maybe getting away from that McLaren. Of course, we're going to have to keep an eye on penalties here in Singapore. It is always a big topic with track extent and corner cuts. But first of all, any real battles going on, gonna have to keep an eye out as well. Without DRS though, it's gonna be difficult on this tight track. But it is Justice then that held the lead from Killer Blue for Excel. We're gonna have a little look back. Maybe there's gonna be a move going on down there. Not quite. The gap was getting quite small, but no moves to be made here from Toma. Oh, I can do it like this too. That's good. Great to know. You can see I'm not in the commentator role very often, but I do enjoy it a lot, so I hope you do like what I'm doing right now. And it is Relentless then, still in the lead, although the other Relentless car is down in 16th place. But at the start of this, there's probably not going to be a lot of moves going on without the DRS. But Justice is already looking to break the DRS then. And trying to put himself in a great position before the rain. Sieb against Jackson down there. There has been a move on the Esplanade. Let's see if Sieb can maybe get back down the inside. Go for a little bit of a switchback then, under the bridge. But I don't think, he's going to hold back there. A safer option for sure. And there is another yellow flag. There is a spin. It is the ADRT driver. He spun around. Unfortunate. And he's dropped all the way down to last place. And look at the gap that Justice has already got to Killer Blue. It's looking very good for the Relentless driver. Exceptional pace. That will see the McLaren driver under threat then already from the CPI team, with Nathan in third place. Definitely the best team result at the moment coming from Excel with 2nd and 4th so far. But NLR looking strong, 5th and 8th with Kart Racer and Felix. Yeah, it is pit stop already for New Jersey. He's lost a lot of time with that one. Possibly clouted the wall as well. Not really sure who to keep on board with at this point. We're just looking at the gaps where it's going to be closer, possible battles opening up. It's almost connected to you, but just not quite though. Kart Racer's definitely closing in on Excel Dylan, who might be losing the touch to Nathan a little bit. But it's still pretty much speculation. Look at that gap, over 2 seconds already. Justice is really in league zone at the moment. Let's see if he can pull that through to the rain. There's already a big gap to Killer Blue, who's going to see himself more and more under pressure from Nathan for the CPI team. And now the DRS does get enabled, so Kart Racer will definitely look for an avenue past that McLaren. There's really a lot of drivers who might be on the move, as Felix almost gets up the inside of Petra there. Oh, big slide. He's just about caught it. Might have been able to go for a move. Let's go back on board with Kart Racer though. He's definitely very close. Maybe Nathan as well. So let's go there first. Is he going to go down the inside? Not quite. Killer Blue does leave the space though, as Kart Racer goes for the switchback. Looks like Excel Dylan defended, but now around the outside. Strong move from Kart Racer up to 4th place for NLR. Very good move indeed. Now let's see what he has to answer to that. Can he maybe get on the back of Nathan as well and challenge for the podium? Felix seemingly recovering from that slide. Maybe struggling a little bit, trying to get that confidence back. Let's maybe go on board with Nathan, but he is definitely too far back for the moment. It's now 3 seconds already, so Justice is doing a brilliant job. He's barely even used DRS. So what a stellar job that is so far. Definitely going to be some moves going on mid-pack if I look at those small gaps. Shifters holding his own there in 6th place. Not really able to go forward or backward with DRS. And Kart Racer has indeed already gone onto the back of CPI Nathan. Will he maybe try to go for a move on the Raffles Boulevard? That was possibly a track extend though. Hopefully for his sake it is alright. We definitely might have to keep an eye on Nathan though. He's only half a second behind the McLaren, who's losing a lot of time. I don't think it's going to be quite enough in this straight though. Kart Racer definitely hangs back as well. Justice is really running away with this one so far. See, Felix maybe is quite close, but just not quite able to make a move. Keeping an eye on the action here is going to be very difficult. This New Jersey Ananas sets the fastest lap on soft tires, but he is 35 seconds down on the pack. On the second pack, that is. Or on the third, if you consider Justice, who's already pulled 4 seconds. Incredible, really, how he's getting away. Now Kart Racer, again with a solid exit, might get away. There's been an accident there at the back. That involves Car Mentalists. Looks to me like a simple spin. So yeah, quite possibly driver error. Kart Racer has managed to almost get Dylan out of his DRS, but Killer Blue is really holding up these two, and that might allow Excel Dylan to catch back up. Oh, Killer Blue is very slow. He's just got a time penalty as well. So now I'm not really surprised that Justice is getting away so quickly. Will Nathan go for it into turn 1 already? There is a lot of contact made. As Killer Blue goes off the track, rejoins in 3rd place. Kart Racer will probably not like that. But he's going to watch the battle from behind with great interest. Excel Dylan's really close. The entire pack is really closed on them again. Now Kart Racer is going to look to get past at least one of the two, but being the 3rd in the train is not ideal. Will Killer Blue maybe go for a move? No, he can't. But now he's gone wide himself, and Kart Racer makes profit of that and goes ahead and is on the podium for NLR. Behind that we have Killer Blue. He's losing a lot of places right now, almost hitting the wall. And from second he's now all the way down to 6th. As Petra, will he go for it in the Singapore Sling? He actually does. Holding it, trying to hold it around the outside. Can't do it though, as Felix then, around the outside, impressive stuff, goes into 7th. And now he's on the back of Killer Blue. He really should make this move as soon as he can. And that is the rain already. The rain has started. At already 8 laps in, that'll throw a big spanner in the works. Killer Blue might go back for a move. No, he's not quite there. But already on lap 8 we have the rain. And I'm sure that's going to upset a lot of drivers. Now Kart Racer, he's going to try his best to get past Nathan. But of course the conditions will only get trickier now. Petra is now also right on the back of that McLaren. Really struggling with something. I'm not sure what that is, but he's going very slowly, dropping like a stone, and he's down into 8th place now as Petra moves up. Now let's head back to Kart Racer. Might well be going for that overtake. But CPI Nathan is using his overtake to defend. Will it be enough for Kart Racer? No, he's too far behind. Can't make an overtake at this moment. But now he's going to come down the inside. Will there be any space? Looks like it for now. Ah, but Kart Racer can probably go faster than that. Killer Blue is struggling a lot. Really unusual to see somebody drop so quickly and so many places as well. Kart Racer is already exiting this hairpin in 4th gear. Just minimizing the wheel spin as Justice has a 7.5 second lead after just 9 laps. That's amazing stuff from the Relentless driver. Absolutely running away with that. There's a position swap there between the Haas's. I guess that would be tactical. Now let's head back to this scrap. We'll see when the tires will be bad enough, or when the conditions will be bad enough to go onto the intermediate tires. Let's see, Justice is carried on. Of course, being in that big a lead is now not so great in case a safety car gets deployed or the conditions change quickly. Excel Dylan is into the pit lane. Is that already a pit stop onto intermediates? And yes, it is indeed. Ecos Shifters is on the intermediates as well, and so is everybody else. So did the guys indeed get unlucky with the timing? As now Felix is up to 4th place. He must have moved past Petter then. Or something happened, because now 3 and 4th NLR as Kart Race is going for the move on Nathan. Locks up big time though, and so does Nathan, both off the track. And somehow then Nathan holds the place. Not sure how fair that one will go down to be. The conditions are getting worse. We'll see how the intermediate tires fares. That is a close one, the pit entry for Wagoner. 10 seconds now almost. Justice has this one under control. Let's see the tires. Yeah, everyone from 11th down is now going to be on the intermediates. So we'll look back at Kart Racer. The 2 NLR guys behind the CPI driver Nathan. But the DRS is still enabled. So in theory, the mediums should still be better. But now Kart Racer is trying to profit from a mistake that Nathan has made. Short shifting big time. There's a lot of contact involved. Pushing slightly off the track. Now Felix is going to look at this in a very interesting way. Lars is out of the race. Crashing on the mediums. Again, more contact. Oh, and that's a safety car. So that is again lucky timing for the guys that didn't decide to pit. However, very unlucky for Lars, who of course has crashed. I would assume he just locked up, misjudged the braking and went into that barrier, or got pushed out into it. Not sure. But that is then Justice making that pit stop for intermediates. Kart racers coming in too, hopefully for NLR's sake. That's not going to lose Felix too much time, but I have a feeling it might. Stack is definitely faster though now. I think Felix might have got away with that. Yeah, he has. That's a good double stack for NLR. It has worked fine. Now, of course, we have Bernd Mailänder back on the track again for another few laps in the lead. I'm gonna try to get the Twitch. I am too used to streaming on Twitch myself. I'm gonna try to get the YouTube chat back for another time while the safety car is going on. What I will do though is quickly get the position changes, because I can see the NLR guys have made up loads of places. Felix has gone from 15th all the way to 3rd. Cementing his reputation as a bit of a Singapore expert. Chances are I might get my chat back. This is very good. It's only taken an hour or so. Kart racer also moving up from 9th to 2nd. Excel Dylan's gained 2 places. Shifters has gained 3. Marty's also moved up 12 places, so he's profited a lot from that safety car. So has Dylan for Evora Gaming. Petter more or less the same thing. That's a 5-second penalty for Wesley for crossing the white line on the pit exit. That is very unfortunate. But yeah, I see some drivers have definitely lost out with that safety car. The only one that hasn't, somehow, is Carmentalist. He started down there, he's now going to have to gain back all the ground. Hopefully the safety car stays out that long. And the only one really to hold his position is Justice in the lead. The kart racer might have to take a chance then to try and move past, as right now it is a double podium for NLR with the best team result so far. Drink again, as there is still 20 laps to run in this race. That's just what Singapore is. Not rarely is it the longest race on the calendar, exactly for this reason. Long lap times, despite a lot of laps being run, and the potential for safety cars, making this race really, really long. But I'll definitely expect to see some more opportunistic moves maybe, or others playing it more safe, just getting through the rain, as I'm not sure, I haven't really got a weather report because of my chat not working, whether this rain will be around until the end, or whether it will stay like this, or maybe even get worse until the end of this race. Now nothing's loading. Okay, well, fair enough. Not getting any chat back then anytime soon. Now let's see how much... I've currently got a bit of a relentless sandwich here going on, with first and last being taken up by the Mercedes team. But generally a lot of drivers are really swapped around. Unfortunately for CPI, Nathan's lost a lot of places with the safety car. So has Excel Killer Blue. Well, New Jersey's been down there because of his mistake that he made early on in that final sector. But who's definitely moved up are the 2 NLR drivers, and Evora's Dylan along with IRT's Marty. Now we go back to the lead. Will we get another lap behind the safety car, or will it pull in this lap? Realistically, by the real rules, they should allow the time to let Wesley, Wagoner and Carmentalist catch back up to the pack. But of course we'll see if the game is up for that. It is, by the looks. And so likely we will go racing then on lap 13. So lap 14 it will be. Is Marty? Ecos Shifters is back into the pit lane for some reason. Haven't really seen what has been happening there. Hope that wasn't a mistake from him or something. But it looks like it might have been. It's a wing change for him. And that moves him all the way down to last place. That's unfortunate then for him. So that means Toma moves back up into the top 10. Marty now 13 up. So he's from 18th to 5th at the moment. Impressive drive. Just picked his time for the conditions and kept it out there. Now we're just waiting. It's not really much going on in those safety car periods. I wish I had the chat to back it up, but I don't, which is... That is... I'm not gonna say the word before someone's gonna tell me things. Let's see what kind of penalties we've got just for that. Just for the matter, it's only one corner cutting penalty for Killer Blue. Otherwise we've got the 5-second penalty for crossing the white line, which Wesley might protest, but I mean realistically that should be a penalty. Tires, everyone's on the inters of course. It is the right set for these conditions. So we'll turn off the detail. And I guess now the safety car will be pulling back in. Yes indeed, it's backed up the whole field. Even the Ferrari is back on the pack. So that is good. And we'll have a third start to this race. A second restart. Again led by Ariel Justice, who's had the whole race under control so far. But now he's being followed by the two NLR drivers, making their way through the pack. Felix, of course, gaining 6 places at the start. Kartrace picking his way through, profiting also from incident. And that puts these two back into the podium places. Now let's see, will he pick the same place to go? Yes, he will. And that looks to me like Justice has picked the pace back up, and he's got a good reaction there compared to Kartracer. And from now on we'll really have to rely on the driver's skill to see any overtakes. Whether that is through making mistakes or just simply being faster. Petter might well be on the back of Dylan here. Ivora's Dylan, that is. Oh, there's been some moves going on to the back. There's very tense here in the midfield. Killer Blue moves up past CPI Nathan. Now see Sieb is down the inside of Petter. Jackson might be interested in that one. So here they come down the Raffles Boulevard. It's a yellow flag at the back. It's been an incident. It's CPI. Yep, Nathan's off the track. There's a yellow flag. Nothing triggered just yet. As Sieb and Petter are still going side by side. Jackson's got the best seat for this one. Now Petter's back on the inside. Can he now keep that position against Sieb? But Sieb goes for the switchback. Can he make that one work in the wet? It looks good. And it's still side by side for half the lap into the Singapore Sling. Big lockup. Forces him off the track. And Jackson finds that opportunity to move into 8th. And yes, he does. So that is a bit of unfair driving though. Killer Blue down the inside of the happy. He does actually make it work. So that is fair enough to him. Petter is now back side by side. Oh, there's been an incident. Killer Blue lost his front wing. That'll be him out of the equation at the moment. And he's going to be dropping down the order very quickly. However, at the front it looks like the gaps are pulling apart a little bit. It's just the midfield scrap that's going to get really interesting so far. However, it might well be the first laps in the wet in Singapore for most of these drivers. And therefore I don't expect that one to be the last incident. And the rain is still coming down hard. So these drivers really look out for this. The only Toma, a bit of a slide there. Looks like he got away with it though. Now let's see. Yeah, Shifter's back in the pit lane. So is Killer Blue at Nathan as well. Big incident in the start. Severe collision with Shifters. So that is 5 seconds added on for Killer Blue. And shifters. I'm not sure if those lockups are actually as big. Now the field is looking to spread because of that rain. Not really a lot of opportunity, of course, to overtake in these conditions. Only 2 drivers really within a second are Peta behind Jackson and Wesley, who's just about outside of a second. Wagoner is right behind them too. Yeah, the 3 at the back now have a big gap to the front. Full wet tires, that is, for Nathan. So it does look like the rain is intensifying. And we'll see what that'll be, what kind of lap times he's gonna do on these full wets. Possibly, of course, we might have to move to these tires. As we'll see quickly, the tires, a safety car looking. Yes, it's a safety car. Ah, another incident then. Who is that off the track? Let's have a look at the tires. Everyone's really on the inters, other than Nathan, but the rain is getting stronger. It's a drive-through penalty for Killer Blue, speeding on the safety car. And another safety car is then neutralizing this race. Excel Dylan has made a move on Felix in the meantime. I've missed that one. Because the midfield scrap is really heating up and everyone's going into the pit lane. Looks like it's full wet tires then. And maybe Nathan can gain a few places from the back. Let's see, yes, it is full wet. Full wet conditions. What a race this is going to be. 3-second penalty for Jackson under the safety car. Very annoying, very frustrating for him. Now let's see, Kart Racer keeps second place. Wesley's moved into the lead as he stays out. So does Wagoner. So we now have new race leaders on these intermediate tires. And this is surely going to change things. Yeah, it's now just 3 drivers remaining on those inters. 4 drivers, sorry. But I would expect these 2 to pit soon, as well as the 2 at the back, of course, got unlucky with the timing. Yeah, shifters is coming right in. So is Killer Blue. Yeah, they've lost a lot of time even under the safety car there. And of course, not so familiar in the race lead is of course Justice has led this whole race. Now we've got Wesley in the lead for DTR ahead of CPI Wagoner, sort of replacing his teammate because CPI Nathan unfortunately down in 15th after he's been on the podium for actually quite a bit of the start of the race. Yeah, all we can do now is look at this rear view of the Williams DTR Esports. And the safety car will probably get another lap because of the 3 at the back, as they still need to catch up. Nathan, Shifters and Killer Blue. Quickly have a look at the position changes. Because you can see Wesley and Wagoner obviously gained a lot of places there by staying out. However, not sure if those are really the right tires for the conditions. The rain is really strong, so might well be time to make the pit stop onto the full wets. Maybe they will gamble, just stay out. You never know. Safety car's definitely not coming in for another lap, so that will be another lap going slowly to let the guys behind catch up. Now let's see if these 2 will head into the pit lane. They won't, so they will actually hang it out. Speculating that these tires might get better and maybe that the rain will stop in its intensity rather shortly. And that is an incident at the back. It's a Ferrari losing his front wing. It's Jackson. Oh, that'll go to the stewards for sure. Jackson just losing his front wing. Seep gets a penalty for that, so does Jackson, I would assume. Let's have a look quickly at the penalties. Yeah, it is 5 seconds. Wesley has 5 seconds still. Killer Blue has to serve a drive-through, which he has to do after the safety car. And it's, yeah, 5 seconds for Seep, and Jackson Kart Racers actually pitted back for intermediate tires, which I find to be very interesting. Let's see if anybody will follow him in. Car Mentalist is also on intermediate, so is Nathan. So maybe the top two have actually done a brilliant decision here, giving themselves a good advantage if they can just hold on to these tires. There's of course still 15 laps to go in this Singapore Grand Prix. 14 when we cross the line, when I expect the safety car to come in again. Now on, we're left with the rear view of the Aston Martin and the view of everybody else behind from the Delta T Racing, Williams of Wesley. Now let's see whether the safety car's lights will turn off and we will get back to green flag racing after this lap. It doesn't look to me like we are going back to green flag racing. Yeah, now it's a McLaren and a Alfa Romeo that have to catch back up, yeah. So we will get another lap under the safety car. Unless, of course, the game decides to pull the safety car in here, which it has done sometimes. I can't confirm it. What I do know is that the ones on the intermediate tires will definitely have to look out for these tires. But if they are already on that set, then they must have had some kind of plan. Because I wouldn't expect a driver like Kart Racer to pit from what would have been effectively second down to 13th place. There are some moves going on here. Sieb goes into the pit lane. He's on the full wets. Will he go back to intermediates then? There are actually quite a few drivers. First of all, there's a penalty served, which offsets the other Alpine of Marty, and it is intermediates indeed. Now they'll have to wait for the Ferraris as well. That'll cost them a lot of time. Jackson's wing is changed, Jackson's tires are changed. And that's all intermediates from 10th place down. So maybe these two at the front have done a blinding strategy here to put themselves at the front of the pack. Albeit on older intermediate tires. Nathan is out of the race. What happened there? Must have just crashed on the straight on his own. Under the safety car. That's really unfortunate. Looks like he has. Yeah, he's crashed out on the straight. That one probably stings a lot. Back to the lead. Let's see. Of course, everybody's going to have to keep it very clean on these intermediates. Because I would assume that the full wets are still the better tire. That these guys will slide around a lot. But how long will the wets be better? That is the question. Just turn off the ranking quickly, although actually we won't see any moves then. Have it back on. And the safety car is coming in on this lap. The guys on Inters will have to do a lot of work to get temperature into the tires. That is 3 drivers in the top 10, 2 of which haven't pitted under the safety car. Kart Racer of course has, and everyone from Kart Racer on has pitted again to change back from the full wets. So I assume they would have been told that the rain might be easing off, and that the full wets might not be the better tire for a long time. Now let's see how much can the guys at the back catch up. Wesley actually going pretty quick on this restart. He can still see the safety car. So when is he going to go? He's going to leave this really late. Yep, now he's going again. And the race on the green flag running is restarted. And yeah, the guys on the Inters are struggling a lot. Justice is going to try to move right past. And he does so successfully. Justice back up to the 2nd place, although he goes off the track. Dylan is now challenging him. Yoni Toma gets a penalty. or I assume going off the track. Wesley struggling a lot on traction, moves down to 3rd place, and that is the lead back to Justice. Dylan is 2nd. Felix is going to try to move up to 3rd place here. That is a crash in the back. Wagonar's out. Oh, that's a big accident. Let's have a look from Marty's point of view. Yeah, it's just Wagonar out. Possibly more drivers involved. But 4 drivers on the wets are now in the lead. Wesley's already down into 5th place and being challenged by the ADRT drivers back into 5th place already. What a storming comeback drive that is then from him. Yeah, the only Toma next driver to make a move. Unfortunately, that intermediate gamble doesn't seem to work just yet. So I'd expect also kart racers struggling a lot on these tires. However, the rain does look like it's lightened a little bit. So maybe if they can deal with this for a few laps, then they can get this to work. Peta is now trying to make a move. This car mentalist is going to be struggling on inters for a little bit. But he's not going to go for that. Oh, big lockup for Sieb. A lot of lockups, in fact, for the intermediate runners. Except for the ones that use ABS, as you can see there. As now we start lap 20 soon. Justice, out of all this, is back in the lead already. With a big slide there, but well held. And Justice is into the pit lane. So it looks like the full wets really didn't work out that well. And everybody's going to have to pit again. New Jersey Anna stays out. Is in the lead. And yeah, Justice is back on the intermediate. Oh, this is going to be very confusing to keep an eye on. But Kart Racer, as you can see, back up to 4th. So maybe it has worked after all. Oh, this is going to be a very tense one strategically. New Jersey Ananas is in the lead on full wet. Toma is 2nd. Will they try to hang this out to the end? Surely not. But Wesley has done a brilliant strategy then and is holding himself in 3rd place. A brilliant result that would be for DTR, but they are the 2 remaining drivers on the wets. Up there in the lead. And that does look pretty slidey to me. However, maybe the wets are still slightly quicker at the moment, because Wesley is not really gaining. Only Kart Race is gaining because he is on the fresher intermediates compared to Wesley. As you can see, the people that did pit under the safety car for the intermediates, they have really profited from this. Let's get the position change back up. And you can see again, yeah, Wesley 11 places up. Car Mentalist 12 places up from 17th to 5th. Marty is yet again back up actually to 7th. But it's still very difficult to keep it on the track on these intermediates. Still though, Toma does have some problems on wets too. And maybe Wesley can make profit of that already into the 3rd sector. It's not really where you see overtakes, but he does make it work. Now Kart Racer, he's going to try to come with him. He does, moves past the only Toma and is up into the podium positions. Let's see, New Jersey Ananas is into the pit lane. So let's go and get the tire back up. And now it's going to be Wesley then in the on-track lead for DTR. So after all, that's still a brilliant strategic gamble for the DTR team. As Kart Racer now in 2nd place is looking to hunt him down. Car Mentalist is on the podium for Relentless, so it's roles reversed at the moment. Car Mentalist 3rd as Ariel Justice has led the whole race, his teammate of course. And the 2 IRT drivers have also profited massively from that one to be in 4th and 5th. Then we also have the 2 drivers for ARC. However, Jackson being hunted down by the 2nd Relentless driver of Justice. Can he make an overtake already? Down the Raffles Boulevard, he's going to go to the outside of the track. Jackson doesn't leave him much options. Now on the outside of turn 6. Turn 7 that is. Now he's going to be on the inside for the next hairpin. Oh, Jackson's out. Oh, that won't go down very well, Justice, unfortunately. It's a full safety car again. Oh, what a race is this. So for action, absolutely brilliant, especially as it's a full wet Singapore at this point. Transitioning to the intermediates. And now we have yet another safety car. I'm gonna try to get the Twitch chat back one more time. And probably gonna get the app wrong again, as it's the YouTube chat. Restarting the app yet again. I mean, what? Now let's see, any pit stops to be made? I don't think so. But the rain is still there, so it's not going to be a stop for dries, if anything. Wesley can still get a good result here, despite his 5-second penalty, which he has for crossing the white line on pit exit. Yeah, penalties 8 seconds actually. Okay, he does have a 3-second penalty added on to that. See if there will be any more pit stops. There is an NLR driver. That is Felix in the pit lane. So maybe he did take some damage from the aftermath of that incident, but he's on the medium tires. So he is gambling. Does he think that by the end of the safety car it's going to be dry enough already? We have the only Toma in the pit lane as well, who is also heading for the medium tires. Now let's see Killer Blue. These three have nothing to lose, so they might as well do this. And it is medium tires. They are really optimistic here that the conditions will improve soon. And if they can make that one work, then that would be seriously impressive. Because right now the conditions really aren't good for dry tires. So now we're going to put the detail back to the tires, of course. Because we have differing strategies again for another time. And still a DTR driver in the lead. Again, looking back from the Williams rear wing, we now have Kart Racer back in second place. So many moves have gone on at this point in the race. And even still, we have a few familiar faces at the front. Let's quickly get the position changes back. Just to see, it's a 13th place gain now for Wesley again, 14 places for Car Mentalist, 13 again for Marty. And Felix has gone back and forth and back and forth. It's now back down in 12th. Really a lot of action going on. Already 5 stops have been made for Car Mentalist. He's in 3rd place. So it really goes to show what Singapore can bring sometimes. Again, the oldest intermediate tires are currently carrying this DTR Williams driver to what would be an on-track victory. But of course it is still 9 laps to go. So EVG Dylan is into the pit lane. Will we see another gambler on the slicks? Killer Blue is out of the race. He was on the slicks, so he crashed out. He must have just missed the braking point, crashed out. Because under safety car is not really going to be a collision. Petter has stayed out on the inters, is in 10th. I don't see the conditions improving that quickly as Felix is round. But he's kept it out the barrier. Lucky for him. Just about caught it in the last corner. We'll just have an eye on the Onitoma as well. Just in case, if you will. No, he keeps it on the track. But Felix, that was a very lucky escape for him. EVG Dylan, not quite the freshest intermediates, but it's alright for the end of the race. These guys really have to hope the rain ends soon and that it's going to be green flags. Maybe a safety car for just one more lap to let them catch back up. And then the rain to stop. Otherwise I don't really see a big chance for them. I mean, right now, of course, on penalties, it's Kart Racer the winner for NLR. So it's looking good for this team again. Car Mentalist in second for Relentless, despite his teammate Justice dominating the whole race, and they're just getting very unlucky with the strategy. But IRT on the podium as it stands, third place with his teammate right behind. And the safety car looks like it's staying out. Yes, the lights are staying on. So we'll get probably another 7 laps of green flag racing. And that will surely help the medium tyre runners. So EVG Dylan has nearly caught up. Felix has made another mistake. Has he hit the wall? He spun around on the exit of the hairpin. No visual damage, but you never know with this. And Felix is down into last place now. 13th and last. Very unfortunate. Still suffering from a lot of oversteer. Car Mentalist is into the pit lane. What is he up to? Sieve is in as well. And we also have Justice in the pits. That's a double stack for Mercedes. It's the soft tyres for Car Mentalist. Petter is into the pit lane too. Medium tyres for Sieve. Is that Sieve? Yes, it is. So a few more slick runners then. Soft tyres for Petter. Oh, how is this race going to play out? I'm not so sure whether these slick tyres are the right conditions. Car Mentalist sacrificing a lot of track position, of course, with this one. But maybe it will work. They probably have this lap to catch back up to the queue. And if they get back onto it, the conditions improve enough, then they will have a chance to be back up. And Dylan, EVG Dylan, is the highest up of these slick tire runners. Let's see. He has started the race in 16th place. And with a little stroke of luck, he might be able to win it from 16th. Also Sieb, though, I think everybody behind them is also on slicks. Yes, so we got the top 6 on the intermediates. Everybody behind is on slicks. On probably an ever-drying track. Let's see, is it still raining? No, the rain has stopped. Oh, we're going to be in for a treat, I think, at the end of the Singapore Grand Prix. Absolutely amazing stuff. And the safety car is coming in for just 7 more laps of Singapore, and it's gonna be, I honestly think it's gonna be carnage, because we have so many differing strategies. We have the oldest tires in the lead with Wesley, but we also have the slicks from 7th down, and it's stopped raining with so few laps to go. This is gonna be so exciting, such a brilliant end to this race. Now we'll see who is going to have the tyres under control the best, and who can catch up the most as well. I think Dylan's the only one that's really caught up to the pack on the slick tyres. Sieb is just behind that, and now Wesley, has he gone already? Safety car's just out of sight. Maybe the game will slow him down, maybe not. Marty is into the pits. No, it's Kart Racer. So a few people are already reacting to those guys at the back, and Marty's into 2nd place. Shifters goes up to 3rd. Ananas is 4th, Dylan in 5th. Yeah, it's still very sketchy on those slick tyres, but it will improve. And then these 4 at the front might be struggling more. Now we've got Car Mentalist close on the back of Sieb. Of course, the soft tyres will give more grip, better temperature at these low temperatures. The track temperature will be very low now, so the slicks, of course, you can't get them up that well. But Wesley has held the on-track lead again. Will maybe enable the gap to the leader now, because that will be interesting to see with Wesley. And it's 8 seconds of penalty. Shift is getting all out of shape there on the exit, but getting away with that. No real moves really going on until these slick tires are better than the Inters. But until then, a lot of time might be passing. So we got the 2 NLR guys near the back again, after they've been so high up the order. Absolutely incredible how many tails, how many turns this race is taking. That is Marty. Who is that? Somebody's been into the wall. It looks to me like Sieb, yeah, at the back of the grid. Spinning around. The yellow flag. Will there be another safety car? For the sake of this end of the race, I really hope not. Now let's see, what will the top 4 do? Will they hang this out? Will they try to hang out these intermediates till the end? Or will they also pit and leave EVG Dylan in the lead of this race? Wesley goes into the pit lane. Wesley pits. Shifter stays out. So does New Jersey. That's a big slide though. A big accident for these two. Oh, the two leaders have crashed. Commentless gets a penalty. And EVG Dylan is now almost in the lead of this race. Yeah, big damage. So that is going to be Dylan for Evora Gaming in the lead with just 6 laps to go. But Carmental is going to hunt him down on those soft tires. What an end we've got to this race. Oh, now New Jersey's going to have to keep out of the way. I really hope it's not going to be a problem. Yeah, he moves out the way. Good job from him. Yeah, he's going to drop all the way down the order. So unfortunate. You can see Felix is back up to 6th place again for NLR. Just how quick this can go. Shift does, of course, with big damage as well. And Sieb, just having the spin, is going to go up to 7th place as well. But now we're going to see this battle for the win. Of course, hampered for Carmentalist by his time penalties. Dylan is without a penalty and he's in the lead. Absolutely crazy stuff in this Singapore Grand Prix. New Jersey Analyst moves out the way again. So at least he's being respectful to his competitors without damage on the better tyre. And now it's going to be a battle for the win between these two. Unless the only Toma can catch up too. And so can Justice, of course. Losing so many places now, again back up to 4th place. And this is going to be a tantalizing end to this race. Just 5 more laps. And Carmentalist is so fast, but he's got his penalty. So he has to move past, get the move done, get a gap, and then he can look to winning the race. The DRS is now enabled. 5 more racing laps. And we're on for an absolute stunner of a race. Oh, a bit of a slide there for Dylan. And now let's see. Will there be an overtake down to Raffles Boulevard? Should be. He's so close now, Carmentalist. Can he make that one work? Good defense going on. That's all Dylan can do. He stays on the inside, defends that one. Carmentalist still on the outside though. Can he defend it? Bit of an instant. Petter's got a 3-second penalty. And again, still the fight going on. Shifters is out of the race. Oh, and around the outside, Carmentalist is in the lead. And his teammate Justice has made a move on Toma at the same time. So that is 2 Relentless cars on the podium. And this race is really heating up towards the end. Let's get the gap back to the intervals so we can see the fights possibly going on. But let's see, can Dylan stay on the back? Let's get the detail to the penalties quickly. It's 3 seconds for Carmentalist that he has to pull. And right now that would lead to a Relentless 1 and 3 still. Actually 2 and 3 because of Dylan. It's a yellow flag in sector 1. That is ADRT. Spin around again. Just an unfortunate race for him. But we now have to keep our eyes on the lead because Justice has also caught up these two. Absolutely crazy stuff here at the end. Just 4 more laps. Carmentalist starts lap 28 in the lead. Justice sets the fastest lap of the race. Gets that extra point as well for Relentless. Absolutely amazing showing from this team. And Dylan has almost lost the DRS here. Now the traction, and now Justice has a prime chance to get the 2nd place and possibly get that lead back that he was in for almost half the race. Wesley sets the fastest lap, down in 11th place now. So unfortunate for him too on strategy, and Justice moves up to 2nd place, making it a Relentless 1 and 2. Now maybe might look to hold up the pack behind him to save a 1-2 for the team. But I'm sure he would maybe like to win the race himself after being so well in control. 6th and 8th now for NLR, which probably could have been more looking at the circumstances, but Yeah, it just wasn't really the day. And now Car Mentalist is pulling a bit of a gap here. Maybe Justice is in fact looking to hold up the pack slightly. To save a 1-2 of Relentless, that would be absolutely amazing. Because look at the detail, we've got the position changes. Car Mentalist is in the lead from 16th on the grid. Absolutely amazing. His teammate starting on pole is in second. And he's going very slow. The yellow flag, again it's ADRT. New Jersey's out of the race. Now let's see, EVG Dylan, yeah, Justice is backing them up big time to save that victory. Let's hope for his sake that it's not going to come back to bite him. But now we've got a big 5-car drain here for second place. With Felix being at the back for Aston Martin, for NLR. And probably not really able to do anything, as is anybody that isn't called EVG Dylan. The only one that will be able to make some sort of move, unless you're being opportunistic, like the only Toma might be. He's looking to go for an overtake here. Before Dylan, is he going to defend that one? Toma to the inside, it's been squeezed out slightly. That brake check probably went all the way back to Felix. Well, somewhat of a brake check, of course, but not on purpose, for sure. But Justice defending for all his might now to hold on to second place, give Relentless a 1-2, which is absolutely just stellar for what that race has been. However, Evora also with a strong result. Dylan is holding down third place, but can he keep it from a charging only Toma? Petter for DTR as well. And of course Felix, who doesn't have any penalties. You have to keep those in mind as well, of course. As if you look at the penalties... Oh, it's gap, sorry. And if you look at the penalties, it's 3 seconds for Toma and Petter, which are going to come into play for Felix, who will as a result move up to 4th. And right now it would still be Car Mentalist with the on-track victory. He started the penultimate lap of this race now, and is 3.5 seconds clear of Justice. With 6 pit stops made and having started in 17th, he's in the lead and looks to win this Singapore Grand Prix. Absolutely incredible scenes. Not really much action going on elsewhere. It's just kart racers possibly trying to make a move on Sieb for 7th place on the track, but it's not going to gain him anything, I don't think. Again, the leading scrap. I don't think Thomas close enough this time. Yeah, that DRS from Justice really saving Evora Dylan here. Petter goes down the inside. Ooh, that's going to be close. Felix is trying to profit from it too, but Petter moves past the only Toma. Felix almost gets squeezed into the wall, but also moves past the Red Bull and is up into 5th place. Kart Racer has moved past C, but I couldn't really watch that one, of course. Had to keep an eye on the higher fights. Now let's see how good will the softs hold on. And is Evora Dylan maybe in a position to snatch back 2nd place from Justice? We will definitely have to keep an eye on this scrap here for 2nd place, as we enter the final lap of this race very shortly. Car Mentalist in the lead for Relentless. And who would have expected him to win this? Right now it looks very good for Relentless. With 1 and 2 for the team. Car Mentalist with another 3-second penalty though. And that'll cost him a lot of positions. Ah, that's unlucky for Relentless. He might well be down in... He might even be off the podium at this point. Felix gets a penalty too though. And maybe that could save Car Mentalist to get on podium at least. Now let's see, Evora Dylan, is he close enough to make a move? I don't think he is, to be honest. Now it's going to be Petter using all his ERS to maybe make a move from Dylan. Possibly setting it up for this 2nd hairpin, exactly. Let's see, can Petter maybe go on the podium now? Oh, big contact made. Doesn't quite work. Felix is going to try to profit from this one too. A lot of contact again. But it looks like for the moment, it should be enough for the Williams. Yes, it is. So no real changes going on up front. Just Car Mentalist who's having to either pull as big a gap as he can, or Justice, having to rely on Justice to hold them up like hell. But I don't really think that's going to happen. It's still going to be a double podium by the looks of it for Relentless. Now let's see through the final sector. Any moves to be made? Felix really close to Petter, but so is Dylan. Justice is defending for all his might. Maybe he is trying to save the 1-2. Can he make that one work? Dylan goes down the inside, cuts the corner, and that's cost them a lot of time. Is it enough though to give Relentless a 1-2? Car Mentalist crosses the line to win. Justice is second, takes the win, but Dylan is second, and therefore puts Car Mentalist back into third. Petter goes fourth. Felix finishes fifth, just 2 tenths behind him, with the only Thomas sixth. Kart Racer gets seventh. IRT Seaman 8th, gets displaced by his teammate. And what an incredible, crazy race we have just seen in Singapore. Absolutely amazing stuff. Evora Dylan gets driver of the day. But a lot of the guys that just kept it clean really deserved that one. Absolutely brilliant. It is Relentless then, 1 in 3. With Justice still winning out of all of this. Evora Dylan getting a brilliant second place for the team. And from 17th on the grid, we have Relentless. I already forgot his name somehow. Car Mentalist, exactly, in third place. Picking off a brilliant result for the team. Probably extending the championship lead massively. But now we'll get another look at the race results. As presented by your commentator Alex the G, who couldn't see the chat. Ariel Justice wins for the moment. EVG Dylan from 16th finishes second. 17th on the grid. Car Mentalist finishes third. Petter finishes fourth. Felix 5th from 15th on the grid. 6th place goes to Toma for Red Bull. Kart Racer 7th. Marty 8th. Steve 9th. Excel Dylan finishes 10th. Wesley's 11th after, with DNFs going to New Jersey, Shifters, Killer Blue, Jackson, Wagoner, Nathan, Lars and Khalifa. And that is the end to this Singapore Grand Prix. Absolutely crazy race. Dry to wet to dry. What an... I don't really have the words for this. Last time I've commentated on Singapore, it wasn't really all that brilliant, but this one has turned all the expectations on their head. And I've absolutely loved to be a part of this. So next up we are going to Interlagos, Brazil, because I've already mixed that one up today, as Harley can say. And yeah, we're gonna have to take a lot of time to recover from that one, although next week we're already going racing again in Brazil. So I hope you enjoyed my commentary, and I'm gonna see you maybe next time round. We'll see if I will be on the commentator seat again. I apologize for not seeing the chat. That's unfortunate. Couldn't really do anything about it, but nevertheless I hope you enjoyed this commentary, and especially this absolute stunner of a race. From an action point of view, it was brilliant to watch and commentate on. So thank you everybody for tuning into the stream. Hope you have a nice rest of the day, and maybe we'll see you around next time. Goodbye.